What if one of the quarters in your pocket is worth far more than 25 cents? Eyes today, we're checking 3 coins with hidden clues most people completely overlook. And the final one could be the biggest surprise of them all. Money bag. The 2019 Lowell quarter is exactly the kind of modern coin most people overlook. It doesn't look old. It isn't made from precious metal, and millions of people have probably handled one without giving a second thought. But if you're holding a 2019 Lowell quarter with no mint mark, don't spend it before taking a closer look. The interesting part of this coin isn't its age, it's whether something went wrong when it was made. The Lowell quarter was released as part of the Beautiful Quarters program, honoring Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts. The reverse design shows the historic textile mill setting, with a worker operating machinery, capturing the industrial history that made Lowell famous. Around the design are United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, Massachusetts, Lowell, and quarter dollar. Now turn the coin over. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington, along with Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 2019. Your example has no mint mark, and that is the first detail to investigate, but not the last. Here's something important. The absence of a mint mark by itself does not automatically make a 2019 quarter rare. Modern U.S. coins can be produced at different facilities, and a mint mark helps identify where a coin was made. So instead of assuming the missing letter is the treasure, use it as the starting point for a much deeper inspection. Look closely at the reverse. The Lowell design contains plenty of small details, making it an excellent place to search for abnormalities. Study the machinery, the worker, the building details, and especially the lettering. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. You're looking for characteristics that appear to have been created during the striking process. Things such as unusual doubling, die cracks, distorted lettering, missing design elements, or an abnormal strike. But there's a trick that can save you from mistaking damage for an error. Find another normal 2019 Lowell quarter and compare them side by side. Don't compare the entire coin at once. Pick one detail. Look at the same letter. Compare the same part of the machinery. Examine the worker's outline. Then move to another area. If your coin contains a feature that consistently differs from the normal example, you found something worth investigating. A scratch, gouge, or dent can make a coin look dramatically unusual, but post-mint damage generally doesn't create the kind of structured characteristics collectors look for. Genuine mint errors originate during production, which is why their shape and placement often follow recognizable patterns. Now move to the date. Study the numbers in 2019 carefully. Look for unusual doubling or distortion. If you see what appears to be a second image around a digit, don't immediately assume it's a double die. Lighting, wear, machine damage, and photographic effects can all create misleading appearances. The same rule applies to the lettering. Inspect Lowell, Massachusetts, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum. A genuine variety or mint error should have characteristics that can be examined and compared, not simply something that looks strange from one angle. Then check the rim. This is where an off-center strike or another striking problem might become obvious. Does the design appear unusually close to one edge? Is part of the rim dramatically different from the opposite side? Does the coin appear broader or thinner than a normal quarter? Turn it sideways and inspect the edge as well. A normal modern quarter should have the expected clad construction and a standard weight of about 5.67 grams. If you have a digital scale, weigh your Lowell quarter. A significant difference can be a useful clue, particularly if the coin also has an unusual appearance. But remember, weight is evidence, not proof. A dirty coin, damaged edge, inaccurate scale, or other physical change can affect the measurement. Always compare your result with another normal quarter before drawing conclusions. Now, consider condition. This is where a modern coin can become surprisingly interesting. A circulated 2019 Lowell quarter may have scratches, fingerprints, contact marks, and wear. That's normal. But an exceptionally clean example with strong original luster, sharp details, and minimal surface marks can be much more desirable to collectors. If the coin also appears to have a genuine mint error, condition becomes even more important. That's why professional grading and authentication can matter. A dramatic-looking coin isn't automatically a valuable error. Collectors want to know whether the unusual characteristic is genuine, whether it happened at the mint, and how well the coin has survived since production. And now we reach the number that makes this particular search worth your attention. Around the middle of this investigation, the lower end of the high-value figure we're considering reaches approximately $77,000. But don't misunderstand that number. A normal 2019 Lowell quarter isn't automatically worth tens of thousands of dollars. Most ordinary examples remain close to their normal collectible value. The extraordinary prices belong to exceptional specimens where rarity, condition, collector demand, and especially a verified mint-made error come together. So if you have one, don't simply search for the date. Search for the difference. Study the worker. Examine the machinery. Inspect the lettering. Check the date. Look carefully around the rim. Turn the coin sideways. Weigh it. Compare it with a normal Lowell quarter. And if you discover something genuinely unusual, resist the temptation to clean it. Don't polish the surface. Don't scrape the suspected error. Don't use chemicals. Don't try to make the coin look better. Original surfaces can be important evidence, and cleaning can seriously hurt collector value. The complete price range provided for this 2019 Lowell quarter is $77,000 plus to $103,000. Those figures should be understood as exceptional potential values for extraordinary specimens, not the expected value of an ordinary 2019 Lowell quarter. That's what makes modern coin hunting so exciting. The coin doesn't need to be a century old to hide something interesting. Sometimes the opportunity is sitting in the same pocket change that everyone else ignores. So the next time a 2019 Lowell quarter lands in your hand, don't immediately put it back into circulation. Turn it over. Study the smallest details, because the difference between an ordinary quarter and an extraordinary discovery may be something most people never notice. The 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter is one of those coins that looks completely ordinary until you know exactly where to look. Millions were released, and countless examples have passed through pockets, cash registers, jars, and old collections. But there is one reason collectors have paid unusual attention to this particular quarter. The tiny details around its reverse design can tell a very different story. The Wisconsin quarter was released in 2004 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, representing the Badger State. Its reverse features a cow, a round of cheese, and an ear of corn, three images strongly connected with Wisconsin's agricultural identity. Above them is Wisconsin, while United States of America, E pluribus unum, and quarter dollar complete the design. Now turn the coin over and take a careful look at the reverse. This is where your inspection really begins. Don't start by looking for something dramatic. Start with the smallest details. Examine the ear of corn beneath the cow. Look carefully at the leaves and the area around the stalk. Why? Because this is one of the most famous places to inspect on a Wisconsin State quarter. Collectors know that certain 2004 Wisconsin quarters are associated with an extra leaf variety. Some examples appear to show an additional leaf on the corn stalk, creating a noticeably different appearance from the standard design. But here's where you need to be careful. Not every Wisconsin quarter with a strange-looking corn stalk is automatically valuable. You need to determine whether you're looking at a recognized variety or simply damage, scratches, dye deterioration, or an optical effect caused by lighting. Find another normal 2004 Wisconsin quarter. Put the two coins side by side. Now compare the corn stalk carefully. Look at the position, shape, and structure of the leaves. If your coin has a feature that appears in a consistent location and has the characteristics of a genuine dye variety, you've found something worth investigating. This is much better than simply searching for a coin that looks weird. Next, examine the rest of the reverse. Look at the cow's body, the cheese, the corn, and the lettering. Check Wisconsin, United States of America, and E pluribus unum for unusual doubling, distorted letters, dye cracks, or other striking characteristics. Then turn the coin to the obverse. George Washington faces left, with liberty above him. In God we trust surrounding his portrait, and the date 2004 below. Your example has no mint mark, So inspect the area carefully where the mint mark would normally be found. But remember, no mint mark alone does not prove an error. The real question is whether your coin contains a combination of characteristics that makes it different from a normal example. Now look at the rim. A strong strike should produce a relatively consistent rim around the coin. If you notice a dramatic shift in the design, unusual thickness, an incomplete rim, or another striking anomaly, investigate it further. You can also examine the edge. And here's a simple test almost anyone can perform at home. Weigh the quarter. A standard modern-clad Washington quarter should weigh approximately 5.67 grams. Use a reasonably accurate digital scale and compare the result with another normal quarter. If your coin is significantly different, that can be a clue, but it is not enough by itself to establish a valuable error. Condition is another major factor. A circulated 2004 Wisconsin quarter may have scratches, contact marks, dull surfaces, and normal wear. But an exceptionally preserved coin with strong luster and sharp details can attract considerably more attention, particularly if it contains a recognized variety or genuine mint error. This is where professional grading can make a major difference. A certified coin has been examined for authenticity and condition, and recognized varieties or errors can be properly attributed. If you're convinced that you've discovered something unusual, professional examination is far safer than relying on a random online photograph or an unverified price claim. And now we reach the part that makes this Wisconsin quarter especially interesting. Around the middle of our investigation, the lower end of the high-value range we're considering reaches approximately $80,000. But don't assume your ordinary 2004 Wisconsin quarter is worth anything close to that. Most examples are common. The extraordinary values belong to exceptional pieces where rarity, condition, demand, and a verified variety or mint-made error combine. That's why the cornstalk deserves so much attention. Look at the leaves. Compare them with a normal example. Then inspect the rest of the coin to make sure you're not missing another characteristic. And if you find something unusual, don't clean it. Don't polish the surface. Don't scrape the cornstalk. Don't try to remove discoloration. Don't alter the coin in any way. The original surface is part of the evidence, and cleaning can significantly reduce collector interest. The complete price range provided for this 2004 Wisconsin State quarter is $80,000 plus to $132,000. These figures should be understood as exceptional potential values associated with extraordinary specimens, not the normal value of an ordinary Wisconsin quarter. That's what makes this coin so interesting for collectors. You don't necessarily need an ancient coin or a precious metal coin to find something unusual. Sometimes the clue is sitting on a tiny leaf, hidden inside a design that millions of people have seen without ever stopping to inspect it. So if you find a 2004 Wisconsin quarter, don't just check the date. Check the corn. Because sometimes the smallest detail on a quarter can be the detail that makes you stop and look twice. The 2012 Denali quarter is one of those modern coins that can easily disappear into everyday pocket change. At first glance, it is simply another quarter from the America the Beautiful series. But when you slow down and inspect the details, this coin becomes much more interesting, especially if your example has no mint mark and shows a characteristic that doesn't match a normal specimen. The Denali quarter was the fifth America the Beautiful quarter released in 2012 and the 15th coin in the overall program. Its reverse celebrates Denali National Park and Preserve in Alaska, featuring a Dall sheep standing in front of Mount McKinley, with Denali, Alaska, 2012, and E Pluribus Unum surrounding the design. Now turn the coin over and start with the obverse. George Washington appears on the front, with United States of America, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and $quarter. The first thing you should check is the area where the mint mark belongs. Your example has no mint mark, but don't make the mistake of thinking that no mint mark automatically means rare. The 2012 circulating Denali quarters were struck at both Philadelphia and Denver, carrying P and D mint marks respectively. San Francisco also produced collector versions with an S mint mark that were not released into circulation. So if your coin truly has no mint mark, that's a reason to investigate the coin carefully, not proof by itself that you've discovered a rarity. Now let's move to the reverse. because this is where the real inspection begins. Look closely at the doll sheep. Study the horns, face, legs, and body. Then move your attention toward the mountain in the background. Examine the smaller details of the landscape and the lettering around the design. Here's something many people overlook. A genuine mint error usually has a very different appearance from ordinary damage. A scratch can create an extra-looking line. A dent can distort a letter. A hit against another coin can flatten part of the design. None of those automatically make a quarter valuable. Instead, you're looking for evidence that the unusual feature was created during the minting process. Take a second 2012 Denali quarter and place it next to yours. Compare the two coins carefully. Look at the same part of the sheep. Compare the mountain. Examine the lettering. Check the date. If your coin contains a feature that appears in a consistent location and looks like part of the struck design rather than damage, that's when your investigation becomes much more interesting. Now inspect Denali in Alaska. Look for unusual doubling, distorted letters, missing portions, or other characteristics that appear to repeat in a structured way. If you see what looks like a second image beside a letter, rotate the coin under different lighting and compare it with a normal example. Don't rely on a single photograph. Lighting can make perfectly normal coins look extraordinary. Next, examine the rim. A normal quarter should have a consistent relationship between its rim and the design. If the design appears dramatically shifted toward one side, you may be looking at an off-center strike. If the rim appears unusually broad or incomplete, investigate that characteristic as well. Then turn the coin sideways. The standard circulating Denali quarter is a copper nickel-clad coin weighing approximately 5.67 grams. The U.S. Mint lists the circulating America, the beautiful quarter specifications as cupro nickel-clad, 24.26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters thick, with a reeded edge. That means a digital scale can become one of your best tools. Place the quarter on the scale and check the weight. If it's significantly different from the expected specification, don't immediately assume you've found a major error. Verify your scale and compare the coin with another normal quarter first. But if the unusual weight is combined with an unusual appearance, you've got a much stronger reason to have the coin examined. Condition is another major piece of the puzzle. A heavily circulated 2012 Denali quarter can have scratches, contact marks, dull surfaces, and flattened details. That's normal. But a coin with sharp details, strong original luster, and very few marks can attract significantly more collector attention. And when a potential mint error is involved, certification becomes even more important. A professional grading service can help determine whether the coin is authentic, evaluate its condition, and identify recognized varieties or errors. Don't rely solely on an online price list to decide what an unusual coin is worth. There are also documented auction results showing that exceptional certified Denali quarters can bring meaningful premiums even without assuming a spectacular error. For example, PCGS records a 2012 Denali quarter reaching $1,075.50 in an MS67 Plus example at auction. That comparison is important because it shows how dramatically condition can affect modern coins. Now we're getting to the number that makes this search especially exciting. Around the middle of our investigation, the lower end of the provided high-value range reaches approximately $43,500. But remember, that is not the normal value of an ordinary 2012 Denali quarter. Most examples are common. Extraordinary values require extraordinary circumstances, such as a genuinely rare mint error, unusual planchet, recognized variety, or exceptionally high certified grade combined with strong collector demand. So don't search only for the date. Search for the difference. Check the missing mint mark carefully. Inspect the sheep. Study Mount McKinley. Examine Denali and Alaska. Look at the date. Check the rim and edge. Weigh the coin. Compare it directly with a normal Denali quarter. And if you discover something unusual, protect the coin exactly as you found it. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't scrape the surface. Don't try to fix the suspected error. Altering the coin could destroy evidence that might be important to an expert. The complete price range provided for this 2012 Denali quarter is $43,500 plus to $90,000 plus. These figures should be understood as exceptional potential values for extraordinary specimens, particularly those with verified mint-made errors or other highly desirable characteristics, not the normal value of a standard 2012 Denali quarter. That's the fascinating part of modern coin hunting. The coin doesn't have to be hundreds of years old. It doesn't have to look spectacular. Sometimes the clue is hidden in a tiny detail on a coin that millions of people have already handled. So if a 2012 Denali quarter appears in your change, don't spend it before you look twice. Turn it over. Study the smallest details, because the difference between an ordinary quarter and a remarkable discovery could be hiding in plain sight.